And boy, this really, if you have a D-tube wing, an I-beam wing, or whatever, a wing with ribs, don't ever cover one side of the wing, like a Nobler, for instance, and then go have coffee. One side, the other side, and then at the end of that, get them both wet at the same time, soaking wet. And anytime you put clear on one side, when I go into the clear, never paint one side and then not the other. It's you dope everything. Now the only exception to that might be a composite wing where it's not going to change shape. You're not going to relax the dope finish and see it change shape, but you know, I'd always want to stack the deck in my favor. Even with that, I want to do one side and then the other, anytime possible. Same thing with a fuselage. If you do one side of a fuselage and rudder, anything. Because the reality is everything that we make, we try to make it as, well, as symmetrical as possible. And that stacks the deck in your favor when it comes bench trim or flight trim time, for sure. Now Karen just was down here a couple minutes ago and she was telling me about these people in the aircraft, in the crash, what heroic stuff was going on. And that is really close to our house. I mean, that is amazing. Amazing that nobody got killed. And as I know firsthand how tragic airplane crashes can be, because I lost my dad in an airplane crash. So I can really relate to how happy those people were to get out of that plane alive. And that's pretty much the only thing on TV. Karen's told me it's on every channel. Oh. Been a crazy winter. I'm getting a little concerned if it gets a whole lot colder and we have a whole lot more problems with the water in the fish pond. We could potentially risk losing some fish, or we've done that in the past. And when a winter is brutal, not every bird and not every fish makes it. Now, one side of this is already almost dry. So what I'm suggesting, and the reason I'm doing this, and I'll do the other ones off camera, I'm going to be doing the flaps exactly the same way. I'll do the flaps and the other elevator off camera because it's basically the same thing. Is just soak it. Just soak it. Don't play around. Even at the risk of having a few runs, if that's possible. It won't matter. And plenty of time. Pressing it down shoves that thinner right down, loosening up whatever's underneath it. And we'll see when this dries if all our little extra tips are paying off for us, or if it's our lucky day. Well, we know it's not our lucky day so far. If this is my lucky day, I don't know what the unlucky day is going to be like. But we haven't. Never underestimate your lucky day. Now, I just want to show this as an example. We are back. The dope is dried out now. We are right back to where we have a razor straight part. But part of it is that we were very careful not to get one side wet at the other. Let them dry equally if possible. Now the flaps, the elevators are all drying up. It's really drying up real nice, except the shop. I hate working in chaos like this because every time Karen walks over to the computer, I see potentially things falling on the floor and ceilings coming down and who knows what. But it looks like we're going to get most of this tissuing done today. Now as I'm doing all these parts, I save all the scraps because when it comes time to doing the fuselage and other little parts, we're going to need as many of these as we can get our hands on. Now when tissuing up the stab, and I just thought this was one of the things I really should put on there. This piece of tissue goes here, this piece here, so we have double tissue in the middle just to get rid of any stress riser that may be in there. And of course the tissue and the glass end at totally different spots so that we've spread that out. Now where this is double tissue in the middle, I'm just trying to get this will sand right out. I'm not worried about a little wrinkle there, but I want to be sure. I don't want to have this tail warp up on me. even though this is going to be a lot less prone to it because it's sea grain. And I get it up off the table so I don't have the horn hit it. But as soon as I can get the stuff out of the way, that's what I wanted to show. As soon as I get this up out of the way, I can get both sides soaking wet, especially the middle where it's double tissue. Get that really soaked up good. Karen's been yelling down to me about every half an hour this thing is on TV about this plane wreck and landing in the Hudson River and how, what a hero this pilot is. Wow. It is an amazing story. Amazing world all around us. Incredible. But the whole idea of every part that has a propensity to warp, get them both wet, do them as quickly as possible, stab, elevators, flaps, everything. Hey, we're almost ready to do some of the fuselage parts here, especially that tail section is full of a lot of little areas. I'm going to see how much I can get done before lunchtime here. Just in case we have any other bad news today. And that whole middle is double tissued. Now on a part like this, and this is the next part we're going to do, I want to pre-cut all the tissue first as one of the, let's get this wire off of here first too. I don't want this in my way while I'm working on this. But I need to get out, and this is why I keep the scraps around, just to see if I can use them up. And I try to look at the part and see, for instance, like where can I use these scraps up? Well, I know I'm going to need a piece for down here. I'm going to need a piece for the rudder, so I probably can just cut this in half. That'll take care of one piece. I'm going to need a triangle piece for in here. Now, the one thing I never want to do is get any tissue down in that valley. If I get tissue down in that valley, it's going to pull up. Guaranteed pull up. No chance it's not going to pull up. So I want to get within 1/8 of an inch of that. But I also can cut that triangle piece right now. The trick is cut all the tissue, but I don't want to get it up in that valley. Okay, so I need 3 pieces per side. I need a bottom piece, I need a triangle, and I need a long piece for each side. So I'm going to, of course, pre-cut everything. And I'm just looking, yep, just reverse it. So I'll have everything pre-cut before I start this. Now this is probably, except for the fuselage itself, the most complex of the parts that we're going to have to do. Now what I'll do is, because the part that'll be most prone to warp is the rudder. So what I want to do is get, and I can get dope right up in the valley, but no tissue. If you tissue over that, it's the same as tissuing over a fillet. You're really opening up a potential problem. Yeah. That's good. Now see if you see that. Just about 1/8 of an inch is plenty. Now what I want to do is trim this and flip it right over and do the other side of the rudder. Again, the idea is stack the deck. I want to keep this wet. I don't want one side shrinking up any more than necessary. Now by this time I should be in at least pretty comfortable with everything, because the next part after this, I think Karen's going to have lunch ready. We're going to have to do the fuselage. Actually, just the fuselage and the wing and we'll be done. I usually take a lot longer to do this, but I'm not sure why this is going so well. Maybe because the rest of the day just went so bad. Okay, so now we got, oh, good, all right. That's the part that's going to be prone to warp. The rest of it is not a problem. The rest of it has enough of a resistance because of its thickness. The thinner parts always want to warp first. And I'll use some of those little scraps up in the fillet area. If possible, I like to have everything covered with tissue, of course. It adds strength, it helps hide the grain, it serves a lot of purposes, and helps make a nice substrate for us, one of the things we really want. Okay, now I'm ready for the smaller parts. Triangle shaped guy. I don't want it going up into the valley at any price. I don't want it going down into the fillet either. Now, this is one of the things, just think about it, if you had a one-piece plane, what a nuisance. This is probably the worst of it on a one-piece plane, is getting in all these little corners and edges. Where for us, this is not even a challenge, because we can hold the part in our hand. We don't have a wing, a tail, a stab, and all the peripheral stuff in the way. Get some of this tissue wetted up. But I think a lot of people that have trouble with tissue, I think a lot of it is you just gotta run off and do it. Because no matter what you do, in terms of if you miss a spot, you can always go back and patch it. The only place you can really build yourself a real nightmare is if you get some over a fillet or near a reverse curve where it wants to pull up. Then you are guaranteed an adventure, a finishing adventure. Okay, now all we have is the bottom and that piece there, and I think we're going to be, I think Karen is going to be ready for lunch. Boy, this has been a crazy day. Right up to the fillet, but not touching it, or the non-fillet, as this case may be. Now when I'm all done with this part, I'll wet it, the whole part down at once, press it all back down again, leave nothing to chance. And once we get this tissue done, everything will just be sitting here ready to dry overnight. And believe me, tonight we will be leaving the heat up about 10 degrees hotter than we normally do. We have this computer thermostat that turns the heat off at night. Maybe we'll leave it on tonight. I don't want to spend half of the day tomorrow thawing out pipes again. A nuisance. And what I can do here can be a little cute. Just wrap this right around. Get the bottom. And we'll save for an after lunch adventure. Fuselage and wing. This will be, actually, considering how it is, this is going pretty good. But it's always an adventure. It never just jumps out of the bottle for me. And I guess that's why people stay with the adventure, because it isn't easy. If it was easy and everybody in the world could do this, I'm not sure how much fun it would be. If you rode down the road and everybody had a Ducati or a Ferrari or something, I don't know what that would be all about. But we got a little bit of rhythm going now, so no matter what, we're on a winning team here, I think. And there's just a few with tissuing, there's just a few rules. They're basic 101s, but you really don't have an option of violating them too much, or you run that risk of, you come back in the morning and your flap is a pretzel. You have a Dutchy pretzel flap. And that's disappointing. And it's very disappointing because we know we don't have sea-grain wood on a lot of the parts that we really, in an all perfect world, would have. Now I'm going to get these little areas done with little scrap. Always a little, that's why I saved that whole drawer of scraps. So I really want everything covered. I want everything wet at the same time before I hang this back up. And to be honest, I don't think the furnace is shut off this whole day. I think we're on, like, the gas company is loving us today. The Arabs are loving us. Wet these down. Now I always have some little scraps here somewhere. But I don't want them going up into the fillet. That's the one criteria not to do. The do's and don'ts. And these I may let dry before I trim them because they're going to be very, very prone to jumping off. And of course that's what's nice about having all those little scraps. You get to a point like this and you need them. You don't have to run off and count them, and they're already pre-dampened. And this I'll trim. In fact, why am I trying to be so cute here? We got plenty of tissue. And we'll have to do a lot of these little, I call them patches, when it comes time to do the fuse after lunch. I just wet everything down. This is ready to go dry up. And once it's dry, we'll trim it all off. Especially the rudder, which would be the part that's most prone to give me a little bit of a headache, but I think we'll be in good shape. So the loving wife decides Wendy has suffered long enough with no water, and she takes out from the freezer her homemade soup. How good is this soup today? Pretty good.
Mexican chicken soup.
Mexican, yes. Mexican Jap tissue soup.
No, not that.
As I'm having nice warm soup, look at the wind blowing these poor guys around. It's lunchtime and they've already wiped out. Wendy, fill the feeder again. If you want to be our hero and you want to go to heaven, a pleasant heavenly trip where birds rule, you better fill the feeder. The hell with your tissue job, fill the feeder. I think I'll do that. I just stacked the deck in my favor here a little bit. Hey, Scott is a bird lover. Now what could be better than birds, hot soup, and control line world? Look at a nice picture they have. That is really nice. Anyway, that's just great to be reading, having my soup, having my birds. I'm not sure what could get better in life. See, here's a constant problem in my house. She grabs my control line world, and she refuses. Yes. She refuses to abduct me from my soup so I can read Control Line World. I can't even read. I write for the magazine. I don't even get to read it. Now there's the secret to happy birds. A full feeder filled right to the top with delicious, fresh, windy seeds. And they all scramble and run to the tree when I fill a feeder. And what else could be better but a bubbling cup of hot Javalia coffee. My God, could life be better? Don't fool around, Wendy. Get that feeder filled. We're hungry. This is not funny. Oh! Boy, that didn't take long. Okay, look at this. The word is out. Wendy has filled the feeder. Well, after a lunch that good and coffee that hot, I'm ready to get back to work. The scraps are calling. Now we're at that wonderful. This is where it gets exciting. We're ready to do the wing. Wing and fuse, and we're done, baby. Let me get all the little incidental stuff off the table. Let me cut up the tissue. Now the thing I want to do today is, on the top part of the wing, I want to overlap. I'm not going to be able to do that on the bottom, so that in the middle, there'll be 2 layers of silk span. That's number one. So what I want to do is take a full sheet, whoa, and I save all the scraps. I'm like an old lady. And I want to estimate how much I can get over the middle of the wing here. Well, that's quite a bit anyway. So what I can really do, this makes it real easy. I can fold this sheet up and cut all 4 pieces at once, which is always nice. And let's just make sure that's going to cover us. Of course, on the bottom, I'll just cut that piece off. So that allows us, gives us a little advantage that we don't normally have. We can cut all of the tissue at once. That's real nice. Now we got all 4 of the pieces that we need for this job. Let me get some of these off the table. And I'll put 1 on a table at a time for our constraint of the time. Now I always try to look at this and try to get an idea in my mind once I'm going to lay this down, because a lot of times it doesn't lay exactly as I want. I want to go over, in a perfect world, I want that joint to be, hard to say, 3-4 inches. Not a critical thing, of course. And I'll pretty much do 1 panel in real time, and I'm really looking forward to getting this done. Once the tissue is on, that's another watershed. That's a watershed that, from that point on, I always feel like, yes, I'm at a whole little different point in time and space. Okay, I got the dope, and I'll give this a real good coat. I'll want to wrap the leading edge around if possible, and the trailing edge. So on the trailing edge, I have double tissue. That's always good because the trailing edge is where I'd like to build up a little bit of extra strength, right at where the hinges are going to go. And the leading edge, I can wrap it around just a little bit. It'll be nice. I'll cut this piece out. I don't need to place up by the mount. And I can go over maybe 4 inches, but it won't really matter. I always save the big parts to last. I try never to, I wouldn't start with the fuselage. I try to end with the most complex part. And right now get a real good bath of dope on this. Because this will be doing work. Every time the plane does a maneuver, we'll be loading, the silk span will be carrying some of the load for sure. Same way it does on an I-beam wing. It's no different just because it's a composite wing. Silk span is still going to add strength. And if you have a helper available, it's a great time to buy them lunch. If you don't have a helper, welcome to the club. Now this is going to require a little bit of fooling around here. I don't really care about all these little wrinkles at the tip right now. Now, I want to slit this. I can slit this because I don't need this up here. And make a torn seam there. I want this to lay right down. Don't need this up here. Now I can slit this. I don't need to have this neat and fuzzy right now. I don't need this back here either. I'll get rid of this. That can go here. And once this dries, we can make these edges a little fancier. Right now, get out most of the big wrinkles. Now the last thing is the little part we have at the tip. Now the trick is soak it with dope. Just soak it. Now let it all start soaking in. And really, the only place you really absolutely need the double silk span is right over the high point of the wing, but we're going to put a little extra on here anyway. the tissue winds up being so light in the final product, it doesn't pay to even skimp, just put it on. And I can take some of these wrinkles out, but I don't have to worry about getting every one of them out. Watch on it. Wrap it right around the leading edge as much as practical. Wrap it out here. Wrap it around the trailing edge. Get some more dope on there. I wanted to do at least one panel in real time so that you get some idea of, well, my method anyway. Not like this is rocket science, we're building a rocket to the moon here or whatever. Now I'd always want to have a little bit of overlap at the leading edge and the trailing edge, both. That's one of my goals, so that's what I'm trying to do one so you can see. And as soon as I finish this panel, without even saying, I'm going to flip it right over and do the other side. Even though that's highly overkill, I just want everything going in, every bit of odds going in my favor if I can possibly do it. And right down around the wires. Now I can get the lovely blade I just had. We can trim this with the bottom of the trailing edge so that we have double tissue on the trailing edge. It might be time for a new blade here. But the nice thing about all these things is you don't really need in fact a rough edge is probably a little bit better, easier to bury in the paint. Okay, now I want to flip this because I want to leave roughly 1/4 of an inch on here. Because I want that overlap, so I can just estimate where that's going to be. The rougher of an edge, the better. In fact, if you really want it to be cool, you could take pinking shears and do this. Okay, now I want to get this leading edge wrapped around. I want to batten this down. Tie this edge down. Now this edge that's up here, I need to get some dope underneath it, first of all. Just float some in there. That double tissue on the leading edge is really a nice. If you don't get that, just add a little strip of tissue over the joint. Now before anything dries up, I want to get the other side as soon as possible. That side is done. And that is, I don't want to belinger this. I want to flip this over and do the other side now. And all four of those panels will be exactly the same. Now cutting the tissue for these little side pieces may be a little more challenging than I thought. Again, I want to stay out of that little valley. And I'd like to be able to wrap it up and around. Again, we got to see if it's our lucky day. Our lucky day comes and goes with the wind here. And we got this little, I may have to put a slit in it right here where it builds up. It has like the Coke bottle shape there, so. And if I can get this to wrap up and around, it will be my lucky day. All the tissue's on the wing. This is the last piece of the saddle, and then we'll get busy on the fuselage. Getting excited about getting this done. Boy, this has been one hell of a day. Not sure I want to relive this one. Now I try to get it down as close as I can without getting it to touch. See if that's going to work. I'm going to see if it's going to start pulling up from around that edge, though. That'll be the test. And the trick is just keep it out of there. See, I don't know if that's going to be a problem. We'll find out when I press it down. I don't want anything in that, no tissue in that valley. And of course, the other side is just a mirror image of that. Now with both sides done, I'll let that dry and trim it later, and I want to get started on the fuselage. Last part coming up. Now finally, to the part we always leave for last, because it's by far the most complex part we're going to do. Now a lot of times it's easier, I don't know if this is going to be one of the cases until I lay this out. It's easier to lay this out in pretty much in full scale and see how we want to do this. Well, this would be one choice, and we could cut that out. The scoop, no tissue goes in the scoop. We could use a full-size piece here, so we don't really need that. Let's see if this is a little longer. Yeah, we need a full-size piece, so much for economy. We'll just get us a full-size piece. And that'll go all the way up to the cockpit in one stroke of the pen, if it's our lucky day. So let's just picture this. Again, I like to cut out all my stuff ahead of time. That'll do that. That'll be fine. Then we're going to need a piece up here. So that piece in the inventory. We're going to need a piece probably from the canopy forward, and we're not going to go into there. We don't want to go anywhere as near that that valley that we've created. Man can't find his own razor blade. Well, time for a new razor blade anyway. But I think we're going to do this in maybe 6 or 8 pieces. But laying some of these out ahead of time, and then all the little pieces in between, as an example right here, this is going to be one piece. This will be one piece. And we'll have to trim these away from the valley. It'll just be too difficult getting in the valley. The bottom will be one separate piece. Yeah, we're not gonna, I'm fantasizing, thinking I'm gonna get in there. Let's just see if it's our lucky day. Keep thinking I'm gonna have these lucky days over and over again. That's close enough. So that'll be the valley. That'll be the big part. I'll have to trim the big part. I'll have to trim up there. And then I'll have to decide how this is gonna work around the cockpit area. Probably up around the front, it's gonna need a bunch of little pieces. The bottom's gonna need another piece, so let's cut out the bottom piece right now. Again, I always like to have these cut ahead of time if I can. That's the bottom. That'll take care of that. Bottom of the front. Let's see if this is big enough. Bottom of the front can be this piece. And then I need the other side. I need to cut the pieces for the other side. We'll need another full sheet for that. I am really looking forward to seeing this all in tissue. And if all else goes my way here, I'll have a little time. I'll get a couple of coats of clear on this as the final thing and then let it dry overnight. That'll be wonderful. So the trick is to keep this out of the valley more than anything else. Anywhere there's a reverse valley, fill it. So let's work this area first. Now it's not really a big deal because joints do sand out relatively easily, but all we're trying to do is minimize that. And we're going over a fiberglass area, so a lot of the dope sits right up on the surface. You usually get a pretty good bond. I don't want it down in that valley. Okay, there we go. Now I can just trim this just a little bit. Okay, that's the first. Now we can work that right up on here. Yes, it's a good watershed to have the tissue jobs done. That is a good watershed. I'll sleep good tonight knowing the dope is drying and knowing my pipes aren't freezing up. I hope. Yeah, we learned our lesson with this really unbelievable cold that's been going through here. And when this is done, I got to go chop ice again on a pond. That's another thrill. Now that'll probably be easier to trim once it's a little bit dry, so I can just leave that there. Now the next side is going to be to get up to the canopy if I can in one shot. See how we can do this to make it easy. Trying to make everything easy here. Not sure this is going to be as easy as I thought it would. Okay, if I don't need that there, I could probably, I'm trying to get the joint right in the middle. Probably cut this in half. Okay, that'll go up to the canopy. It really isn't that critical. I'm making more of this than it has to be because these joints sand right out. I always try to get a little too cute at this point. And the idea would be to get the joint on the top of the fuselage. Now the reason for that is pretty simple because we can bury that in paint very easily. That's a good place to put anything, because we'll put more dope up there so we can get it really polished up. Let's see. I'm going to stay away from the valley. I could push this back just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now another choice I have is I can end the seam so I have a double seam over where the joint is. Maybe that would be a little bit smarter, I don't know. Can always do that. See, it's okay to double tissue things, is never a problem. That second layer of tissue, it's already sealed, so it really isn't a big deal at all. So let's see up here where again, we don't want anything in the valley. Nothing in the valley. And any little wrinkles that stay in here, we will sand them out. I'm not worried about trimming off extra here. Here's another trick, by the way. When you have a wrinkle and you want to get it out, take the back of a razor blade and just do this. Trowel it off. That usually does pretty good about getting rid of little wrinkles. And go right back in and dope it right back down. So that takes care of our nose area, except for all the little pieces up there, and we have all those scraps to use up. Now we want to deal with this big piece here. Let's trim this off. Okay, now let's get the big piece. If we can get that to go right up to the cockpit, that'd be pretty nice. It's not going to work that way. Okay, it's got to work that way. Okay. This is why I always save this part for last. Now, it's just an unexpected day. I like when I can get all the tissue done in one day, of course. That's really nice. But the way this day started out, boy, I had no idea where we were going. We were on the one-way trip to Palookaville a few hours ago. Okay, so let's see if we can get this whole thing, including the canopy. This would be nice if we could. We can go right up around the fillet. We can just trim that out. I'll put dope in here, but no tissue is going to go in there. That's just a coat of dope. We're just going to build that up with dope. And if we do filler, not sure we're going to do filler. We got to see how the wood starts laying out. This looks like pretty good wood, so I don't think we got too much of a grain issue there. got a trim around here is number one. So that'll lay down. Pretty cool. It worked better than I thought it would. Now I'll trim this back as soon as I get this stuck down. So it looks like we've got 3 pieces per side. I don't want the dope, the tissue going down into the scoop, the side scoops. Now the other side is going to be pretty much the same, so there's no point belaboring this. But I know the one question I've heard from other people is, you know, when you do things in real time, meaning you see the beginning and the end of it, all in one stroke, you can get some idea. When you just have little outtakes, sometimes you wonder, how long did it take him to do that? I don't know. Or did he do it 6 times before he had it? And of course, that does happen. Now I can trim this right where I want it. Okay, this joint can be right here. Okay. Get a little wrinkle in here. What the hell is that wrinkle? That looks bad on video. It looks like I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, this part here now is extra. We don't need that. We can work on getting this little wrinkle out. I guess this one, and I don't want any in there, so I'm going to have to trim this out. Just V-notch it right out. Get that piece out of there. Right, golden rule, no tissue in the valley. Get that out. Get that wrinkle out. Well, what we're going to do for the rest of the night, try to get 2 or 3 coats of clear dope on this about an hour apart. It's totally covered with tissue. I put a little extra piece up here around the tail. I joined the top just a little bit overlap. After 3 coats, we'll trim this off. Everything's drying up here. It's just been a great adventure. It's been a day I'll never forget. The day we tissued the tribute. What a day. And 3 coats of dope will be drying tomorrow because we're not going to be in the shop tomorrow. Now today, while all our dope is drying, I got up super early this morning. Joe Adamusco is supposed to meet me here around the crack of dawn. And we're going to go to the Javits motorcycle show, one of the biggest motorcycle shows around. Joe, of course, rides motorcycles, as I do. And we may be linking up with some of our other friends. Andy Lee may meet us there, and we don't know who else. It may be a surprise. So looks like it's going to be really, really cold. It's a better day to go to the motorcycle show. Actually, a lot better day than to go out motorcycle riding. Well, it is a brutally cold morning, probably around 10-15 degrees, and we're just waiting for Joe Adamusco to get here. He's due here soon. My friend Art Rosberry is here, and we're going to be leaving for the bike show at Javits Center, and maybe even get to see that plane that crashed in the Hudson, which is right by the Javits Center. Karen set the table for us. And we're just waiting for our company to arrive. Tomorrow's the Steelers. The Steelers are still in. The Giants are out. Big Steeler fan. Now I'm surprised you're not rooting for Philly.
Well,
You're torn between. You live in Philly and your heart's in Pittsburgh.
I was born in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And Steelers are stamped on my birth certificate.
All right. All right.
Can't change it.
Well,
It's like I flight control line stuff. I can't change it.
you're stuck with it, right? It's like being good looking. You're stuck with it. Joe and I have had a quick cup of coffee. Joe's going to get his new plane out of the car. We're going to bring it down to shop and do some show and tell. It's going to be about another hour before our friend Art is here. He's got some real estate obligations to take care of. He's in the real estate business. You can see Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh my God, look at this guy. So we're going to get to do some show and tell on this guy. Obviously not been flown yet, huh, Joe? Maybe we can get a flight in before Art gets here.
The concept on to take apart somewhat,
Yeah.
and after I'm just about done with my Spitfire. I got a
You got to buff it out yet?
well, it's buffed. I had to put an extra coat of clear on the top of the wing.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for that to gas off. I'm saying that. Then I'm ready to. I got everything assembled. I got
Beautiful.
It's ready.
Spring is coming, hey.
But the point is that it's a lot easier to finish a fuselage, a tail section, this thing. You know,
Joe, I was sanding
last one.
yesterday. I was tissuing yesterday. And I was just thinking to myself, I could never build another plane that's one piece. That's one of Dave's
You know what?
wings.
The time that you spend to align and get all the bulkheads and all that, everything, so it bolts and
It's not even close.
you spend that much time on the fillets on a one-piece airplane.
This looks really nice. Just don't back up. There's parts hanging on wires. I'll pull the parts on a table if you want to oogle them.
Oh, quarter-inch, way to go, man. That's I'll tell you what.
Both of
That simplifies.
my second two spits. They're your wood, in fact.
Well,
Yeah.
quarter-inch stab armor. So I'm ready. I'm gonna be.
You ready for Spitfire adventures this summer? We're going to bring these puppies out. I'm going to bring
What are
2
you
or
gonna
3
do
at a
with all these-
time.
What are you gonna do with all these airplanes?
Hey, take a guess. Fly the shit out of them.
Okay, you use 021s on there?
No, you're done. The rule changed as of 5 days ago.
That's not what I read. Oh, okay.
No, the rules changed. I made the rule. It's my rule change. You go by the weight of the plane. You got to weigh the plane. 75 ounces or more is 021s. You're not 75 ounces.
What, for my spit?
No.
60 something.
Yeah, not even close.
All right. So at any rate,
So
that's
throw
82,
away all the
that's okay.
021s, thanks to
Why
Wendy.
did? Yeah. Okay. Did you use on your handle for that?
For you, I know it's going to be smaller.
I know, but I know that. So you tell me what you had, and then I'll know I can go smaller.
Well, we'll just go measure my handle when it comes time
You
to
don't
set it
have
up.
it? No.
No, they're out in the car. They're out in the
All
car.
right. Yes,
Joe, when you
that
fly
has
that,
to come.
when you fly that the first time, when you see it out at the end of the lines, you're just gonna love it. It's unbelievable how good it is. It looks so real
that's
compared to the other ones. I mean, compared to the little ones, not even close.
We had up to silver before we started the Spitfire, the 90 Spitfire.
Okay, this is the
So what
Stuntress.
I had this, and there was no way that the wings in it. That plane was so calm. It took so much time. I
Yeah.
just put this up on a rack in silver.
But you're convinced the one-piece plane is
Oh, yeah.
not the way to go from now
so
on.
I got the Spitfire done while I'm waiting for the. I never like to have anything unfinished. I want to get all my
Yeah,
projects
of course.
done. So I finished this one off, and now I'm going to have the Spit. But it's basically a refined Stuntress.
How much does it weigh? Did you weigh it?
Yeah, it's 58, and that's with the tank and a 1.5 ounce tip weight. With the wingtip, the tip sweeps are redesigned. The end ribs are redone so that this has no blivet, no polywoggle.
Yeah.
And the fuselage is a completely different.
Did Dave do these airfoils,
Yeah,
or did you
no,
come up
he-
with them?
He revised the airfoil for me at the tips. And there, man, I can see it. something's colder or something. I got fingerprints.
When you put the colder, the finish gets like this. Don't even. It'll warm up.
And it's got the pH.
This looks a lot like the other one, though.
Oh, yeah, well, I did it for a reason. Yeah, I crashed the original stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And Sue always said that was her favorite airplane.
She liked the color, or she
And
liked
told me that, hey, when I buy the farm and I disappear, all my airplane shit she's getting rid of. The only airplane she
eBay, huh?
The only airplane she wants around to remember me like a tombstone is a stuntress, because she likes that girl back here. So that's why I did it again. But you know, sometimes you get stumped on a paint scheme. I like the color. I
Oh,
change things around a little
the
bit.
color's great.
It's aside from basic stuff, it's the same. Except it's got wing-mounted gear.
Oh yeah, the other one has
61 exhaust header. I kind of got my own system.
you got a double header in there with the two pipes.
I could flip it over and show you. You want to see?
Be careful, be careful.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe you want me to do that. Famous last words. Silver on the bottom. That's a good way to save some
It'd
weight.
be different. No, but actually it's B25 silver.
Yeah, that's nice silver. Boy, the guy that came up with that Brookins is an okay guy. Nice little tail wheel mount. That's nice.
Yeah. So this is in.
Yeah, you can
It's
remove
something
it.
I've been doing. You could change them. You could take it apart. You can inspect it depending on where
Right.
you are. You want to go a lot longer,
This is
shorter,
nice,
change
too.
this and that. Yeah, this gave me some room for my adjustable. You know how you're always,
Yep.
if you got to do it, you don't need room.
See, I'm interested to see if guys like Walbridge is a good example with building his first take-apart plane. You know how intimidating it is, and then all of a sudden, whoa, that's a nice little. Was that a race car, a helicopter or something?
Race car, exhaust snuffer.
How big is this hole?
359. That's the number I like, and that works best.
That worked okay.
Oh yeah.
What was that size we had? You had to.
Oh yeah.
I did the same thing with string. I put one on. It belongs on a 60 or
So I
something. Forget
finally
it.
got it to a point where I know that a minimum length, max length,
Right.
this whole size. It's
Okay.
quiet enough. This little thing flexes around, and I believe it or not, it kind of muffles.
Yeah,
it takes
yeah,
some of
yeah.
the- but that works good. That's the same setup and everything that I had in my Seafire, so I know that works.
Nice wing. I like the way the wing came in.
Yeah,
This I
yeah.
like without the polywog
Yeah,
thing. Is a lot
and,
nicer.
That was the reason I built it. And, so here it is.
I sent Elliot out all the patterns for the Spitfire. He's working on the
Yeah,
plans
he
for the
communicated. I
Spitfire.
sent him some stuff too, so we will. Oh, by the way, this has molded bottom block, molded top,
There's a molded shell.
molded shell bottom, and the top. If you want me to flip it over again, I can. Show you.
Just be careful. Don't ding it.
Don't knock your Florence.
Oh man, don't do the Forrest Gump thing here.
But this top block is a two-piece molded shell, and the parting line is right down the center.
Okay.
And
I remember you showing that you had the thing at Brodex, the
oh
technology.
yeah, and I built a fuselage.
That top is beautiful.
I built it in 1999, the fuselage. And Gary Lutz was interested in building a stuntress, and I said, okay, you build, you go ahead, start the wing and stab.
Right.
But the fuselage, I said, I got an improved design for it.
Right.
So I made, I built a fuse. You know how you do with the top block,
Right,
and shape
right.
it and all that. Then I set it up the way I do the mold, and I molded him a top shell and a bottom shell, and worked out okay for him. So I had the fuselage, but I put it in a box, and it was just sitting there until I built a wing and stab for it. I like the airplane, that's all. And plus, I told you that Sue said, well, why don't you do another one of those?
What's the name? I can't read the letter.
Dream Piece.
Dream Piece.
And you
Okay.
could look at the girl on the rudder, and you
For some
could use
reason,
your
I'm looking. I'm saying, what the hell's he talking about? Was this in Spanish or something? After being in Brazil, everything's got some
well,
double meaning.
And I've got two set of gear. This is the tar gear, and I've got grass gear.
You got the nice blunt leading edge too. That's nice. Beautiful. So you're gonna go motorcycle riding with us this summer? Kajeski's got his Harley,
The only I have a motorcycle, but
I
it's not
know.
here. It's in West Virginia.
Leave in my garage and we can go bike riding and flying.
If I get, but I don't have a big mean machine like you guys got.
Did you see Kajeski's Harley?
In your videos, yeah.
Yeah, 20 grand he paid for that.
Well, hey, that's.
He's enjoying the hell out of it. I got to give him credit. He's got like 18,000 miles or something on it already.
That's a lot of miles.
Got a lot of miles.
I'm lucky if I put 1,500, 2,000 a year on it. But
Yeah.
that's a lot.
But you know what? He never had a bike. I mean, he only had crap bikes, so this was a big thrill for him to have a new bike. It was
But you
really
gotta
good.
get a new airplane. That'd be a bigger thrill.
Well, you know.
And the other thing I did on this, you know, I had my first experience with those decals on the Spitfire,
Yeah.
and I learned a lot from that. You're limited on how much you can do, and I didn't know what you.
You got Letra sets on this or decals?
No. The only thing I have is my name. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I got the name of the plane and I got who built it, and that's it. I don't need to know how many ounce fuel tank there is in here. It's strictly, I'm hoping this airplane flies good.
I got the little things from Frank McMillan, the little laser cut where it says what fuel and oil to go in a Mustang. I'll show you them. They look really nice.
Scale art, yeah. I wanted this thing simple.
I don't know if it would fit on a plane like
I wanted
this.
the ink lines.
Simple.
That's something else I did. If you look at the wing, the panel lines, it's a Spitfire wing panel. You know.
Yeah.
ailerons,
Yeah, you got the ailerons
and all that stuff. I figured I'd do that. I don't have to.
Well, my paint job for this plane is going to be simple. I'm not going to turn it into
Well,
a.
okay, I don't know what colors you like, but are you going to paint it chicky colors?
Yeah, chicky. I got the paint already.
It's like Steeler colors.
I got the. Yeah, I got the paint. It's Steelers. It's going to be a Steeler plane. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I should get a little Steeler logo somewhere on it.
It's got if it's a chicky plane, it's got to have chicky colors.
Oh, well, you can't paint it red. No, it's a chicky plane. It's going to be chicky colors. Joe, this is really nice.
Now, see,
This is really
if I
nice.
would have known about the 1/4-inch stab, I would have had one, put it on here. But it's 700. It's actually 694 square inches.
Well, the idea is that always bothered me is this is always thin. See, on a scale plane, not on on a cardinal. This is thin and this is fat, and it never looks scale. It never looked right. With the spit being 1/4-inch, it looked better
Well,
anyway.
in the old days with the 35
Yep.
stuff we used to do. It was,
No, see that one has a 1/4-inch
Sure.
tail. That flies good. This one has a 1/4-inch
All
tail.
right, so this is the build-a-thon wing. And,
That's the build-a-thon wing.
yep. That went on nice. The mat.
Yeah, it's got to be sanded, but I got it on yesterday. What a nightmare. Oh, man. With the pipes all freezing. In fact, they're still dripping and drooling
Now, that's a
upstairs.
small airplane for you. What are we looking at here? 61-inch span?
60. 60. So it's under 700 inches.
So like that one. So
Yeah,
it'll be
yeah,
interesting to see how they.
It's a 60 size plane, and it's got the Jetfire motor. See,
Yeah,
the motor
but-
is in that Spitfire. That's a Jetfire.
Oh, the Jetfires.
That's the cast case from China.
All right, is that the light one you're talking?
Yeah, 11-ounce motor. That's an app. Flip it, but don't knock it all of my
No,
parts
no, no.
over. Yeah, good luck. Flip a dually. Look at this guy. You can lay it on the ground. It doesn't
About?
matter.
No.
That's all soft carpeting. Yeah,
All right,
that's
so
a,
it's a
that's a
cast
Jetfire.
engine, not
Cast,
a bar.
cast, and it's a it's an 11-ounce motor though. It's real nice.
You said 11.
11. I
what?
weighed it too. It's 11.1.
The bar. The bar stock's like 3/10 of an ounce more.
Yeah, half an ounce. Yeah.
So okay, it's close. What's the advantage of the cast over the bar? Nothing.
No advantage, just different motor. A little bit lighter if you got to get rid of some nose weight.
Okay, but it runs like the others. So.
Ran
So
just
he-
like
he
it. Well, it
gets-
uses the same guts inside, so it
Alright.
should run the same.
Well, this baby's been around the block. Huh?
This baby has got some flights on it. If your plane gets that many flights, you're going to be a happy guy.
Yeah,
How many miles you got on your motorcycle now?
3,000.
3,000. Wow.
You need a special hangar. Like they just built that new one, the Dulles.
Yes, I need Dulles down here. They're upside down. They're right side up. They're upside down. They're on the floor. They're on the walls. They're hanging up. They got guys coming in to steal them. Joe, I need more room. That's the thing. Now, with the plan I have, though, is in the spring, if this works out, when the plane is done, I'm going to gut the cellar. We're going to get rid of this bar, move the computer, gut this whole area out here. Karen wants to have a workbench. She's a professional cake baker now. She goes to cake baking class. So we want to have like a place that she can work without messing up the whole house and vacuum up. This I really like this guy. But obviously, you've already flown this plane, so
No.
the first one.
You did. You test flew it.
Well, what I'm saying is, you know this is going to fly good. Yeah,
it's
58
good.
ounces.
I mean,
There's no way this cannot
the only
fly.
thing is, it's got a half-ounce more tail moment on it. Yeah, half
Nah,
inch.
that's.
But you know, we'll see. And
No, I think it's going to be good.
I got my Spitfire it's downhill run now.
Oh, all you got to do is buff it, right?
Yeah, well, I got to sand, and I'll tell you what. I still don't know how you do this. Your finishes, and every time I look at that Tiger Cat, that black doesn't have any scratches in it.
Still doesn't after a year of flying it.
I don't know how to do this shit. I tried, using a 1200, 1500, and nothing else. It takes a lot of, or maybe I got to do more buffing. But I try to minimize the amount of clear that I put on both airplanes.
This is nice. What do you? I don't know what
it's
you're.
okay. I need. You got any of that final shine laying around? I'm just to rub some.
See, that's with the final shine. Without the final, yeah, you know what it is. See, this stuff fills the scratches.
Yeah.
Now take your hand, Joe. Do this. Put your hand here and run across it, and you'll feel like you go ice skating. It's smooth. You can feel it.
Yes.
Now do the nose here. Do a little bit on the nose.
You want me to get? I thought you told me you had energy.
Yeah, come on. You're a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's see.
I'm gonna get extra points for this.
You're gonna get. I'm gonna definitely jury rig the Nats, so you win. 96, baby, 1 and 2. Did you ever forget that day? That day is burned in infamy.
But when you get to a point where you can start doing this with your new airplane, that's when you know that, man, all that
Don't
work.
be afraid to press down on
All right,
that
all
stuff.
right. Hey, you got
Yeah, don't baby it.
you got to kick it into buffing mode here, huh?
I'll tell you what I bought. I went to Harbor Freight and bought a $13 orbital buffer. It works great. Yeah, I don't think you could use it on a plane, but on a motorcycle, man.
Okay, I got to get some of this and.
And when you're done with microfibers, never put them in the wash with other rags. Don't put them in with your wife's
Yes.
underwear or anything, because everything, they come out,
Now
they
you buff
absorb
this till
everything.
it like.
No, you just keep going. It'll disappear. Come on, you got energy. Man, you want to be a football player, a motorcycle rider? Now, find a dry spot on the microfibers. See, find a dry spot.
Okay, I follow what you mean. Now, if you don't
Okay.
if you don't use microfiber, what's the next best?
A towel or sock. I like that. Now, what's the
Oh.
difference?
Oh,
Holy shit, huh? Yeah, look at that.
Holy shit! Is
Feel that.
that in the stunt vocabulary?
Now.
Holy shit!
I'll bet one thing we're going to see at the motorcycle show today. There's going to
a
be
lot of buffed up
some
motors.
high-tech
Oh,
paint
yeah.
work. Some of the Harley guys. How's that?
See that?
You happy with
I'm
that?
gonna
Worth
get-
a
I'm
trip
go-
to McDonald's.
I'm gonna
Look
get-
at that shine, man! You could have won the Nats.
I'm
Look at
gonna
that.
get a nice little report. All right, let me write this down.
Write this down. Come on, come on. You probably could buy it at the bike show. They got all the custom stuff, McGuire's and everything. Your spinner ball buffed up nice.
Yeah. It's sand and.
You use the that stuff that Richard Oliver told us, the aluminum polish.
that Mothers.
The Mothers, yeah. The latest of my design crazes is everything's got to be simple. I'm trying to get away from the, where there's on stripes and.
Oh, you mean paint scheme?
Yeah, I want everything simple as can be,
Yeah.
and the ink simple. This is exactly what I like. Now I'm hoping the Chickie plane's going to have something.
Wow, I think
Very,
you got the right colors if you're gonna paint.
No, the colors have to be
They
yellow.
Have to be like Chicky.
I bought every color yellow. Brookins got me some yellow and orange, so I can mix paint till the cows come home now. I got plenty of paint.
All right. Well, this is it's all Brodag butyrate substrate construction dope.
Right, normal finish.
B25 Brodak silver on the bottom. This is insignia white Brodak. The green is kind of like a little mix shit that I
Yeah,
which is
pearl.
Like,
It
And,
looks like you got a little pearl in there, in fact.
well, I paint all my canopies that color. That's and silver mixed together. But it's Brodak paint. The black is DuPont black diamond acrylic, and the red is PPG deep rose.
Okay. Is that a standard car color? No, I don't think so. Like a Toyota car?
But I have enough PPG deep rose to paint. Maybe 3 more airplanes.
You could paint Midgley's shop.
And it looks pretty good out in the sunlight too.
Oh, it looks good in the air.
And
I remember thinking this looked real good out at the end of the handle.
yeah.
And it's a nice, unique paint look.
I'll tell you one thing. You know how we were playing around with the ogive area on the Spitfire?
Yeah, yeah.
What I try to do with this is the block is top block's a little higher, and as it goes out and it cuts down.
I saw you made it like an ogive,
It
like a
It
Spitfire.
runs down into the spinner.
Yeah, it has a little bit of an ogive on it.
And I just rear exhaust using these Rojet engines, and that all synthetic fuel. Mainly you get a little bit of oil drilled back here in the table, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, airplanes will never ever be oil soaked again.
Nope. I don't even really fuel proof them the way you used to, where you'd put 100 coats of epoxy in the tank area and the cowl. The cowl never even gets dirty on a plane.
Oh, the clear coat on this Brodak's crystal clear dope.
Okay.
I mean, it's clear. It's really crystal.
The hard thing with a one-piece plane is you're always banging into it, and you're trying to get in between the tail and the wing, and you lay the ruler in there to do an incline, and I'm just so spoiled. I'm totally spoiled, to be honest.
Well, the Spitfire.
And besides, I got the technique for doing it down to where it's not. I could do it in my sleep.
You could put the wing right on the bench in front
Yeah.
of you. You could put the fuselage right on the bench in front of you.
Right. Put a ruler from the spinner to the tail. Ink it, buff it, do whatever you got to do.
But if this is going to be the last one-piecer, there it is, and
Yeah.
that'll be it.
Well, it's 10 years now I've been making take-apart planes. This is going to be the 10th year, so that was the last of my one-piece planes right there. From that point on, they're all take-apart. Now, some of the paint jobs, I don't know, the last time you've been to the motorcycle show.
Never. Never been to
The new paint that they have, the new paint, you will not believe the paint. If they have the guy there from whatever it is, House of
Okay.
Colors. You're gonna want to spend some money. I'm telling you, I hope you got money with you. Well, you do the canopy or the trim. You don't do the whole plane. But the paint they have, I'm hoping they got some cool yellows there even. I want to have about 10 different choices of yellow.
The big aerodynamic improvement, just those tip sweeps and the way the tips come down to a place.
Right.
That's what I wanted, and I think I got that.
I think you got
That
it.
was the reason to build the whole. And I'm the elliptical wing guy, you know that. But I gotta put some of that glaze shit on here and make it. When it's on, like right now, it doesn't matter. I know it's clean. It's when I get ready for high level competition.
It
Put the circle
looks
burner or something,
it looks pretty high right now. Now
You
you
did it in 2 pieces.
how did you lay it out though?
Well,
Did your computer lay it out and then cut it with the stencil
I
paper?
got it
Or?
on my computer and then just enlarged it to the size you wanted.
Okay, and then traced it out like.
And then so you had a copy,
Okay.
and I made sure that all your register.
Yeah, well, of
line-
course, yeah.
And I used that white vinyl contact shelving paper.
Okay.
That's what I use. But I should next time I do that, take some photos because I got.
That'd be a good article for
learned
Control
that
Line
learning that
World.
photo
Yeah.
because I've done that, like Mr. Awesome. I've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
Supermarine.
I'm saying I'd even like to see how you did that
There's
too.
a special way where you have to back. I don't peel the whole back off and then try to put it down because if
Right.
it stretches and it'll end up looking like a rubber band. Remember?
Yeah. Oh
Remember you used
yeah.
to get those dollar bills with rubber and you'd stretch. If it's a big word like that, you do it in 2 pieces. Dream and then
Yeah,
you make
yeah.
sure that you lay in the other.
You know when I did the Red Baron lettering, they didn't even invent stencil paper then. That was in the early '80s, mid
Well,
'80s.
that was taped. You taped.
Masking tape.
Yeah.
Everybody's, you got a stencil. No, they didn't invent stencils then.
But that's where doing the stencil work, you can use different colors, I guess, but that DuPont diamond black, it's like you just have to breathe paint.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
one
airbrush
coat,
it.
one coat and you're done.
Airbrush it. I got every color of Brodak yellow they make. And I got Brookins' 2 colors. How many coats of yellow are on your yellow Spitfire?
Coats. I was going by coats.
Or quartz? Yellow's tough, I know.
Yes, it is. See, but the problem was I was trying to make it too yellow, like pure.
Yeah,
the more
yeah.
pure color you try to make it, the thicker it's getting. The yellow on there is probably 5/1000ths of an inch thick.
Yeah, Midgley had some nice yellow that he got from House of Color, but it was expensive. It was like $100 or something. Yeah, she's nice. You got wheel pants for it or no wheel pants?
Well,
You didn't make them yet?
Grass gear, same thing, just
Yeah,
longer, swell
okay.
forward. That's when I want to go. You know, there's always, like in the future, you know, you get to some point where you want to do this or that, or you can, with everything removable,
Yeah,
you can
right.
always make up a new
Right.
set of something and put it in there.
Don't put a hole in it. That'd look good with wheel pants. You kidding me? Yeah, that'd look nice.
It was when I read Wild Bill. He had an article in there where he flew an airplane.
Yeah, it's in the control line world.
And he landed it, picked up a rock, it got stuck in a wheel pant, and
Yeah, yeah. Could happen.
well, yeah, you have to.
We did a lot of flying on some rough surfaces too with those things. The trick with wheel pants, you got to glass them. If they pick up stones and everything, it's murder.
Is an Indian chief, inline 4-cylinder,
In line, baby.
with stick shift and floorboards.
Jockey shift. You'll be the star of the show today.
Gas pedal on the right-hand floorboard, stick shift on the left.
Good?
Nice, very nice.
You're not riding your Harley today?
No, not
Why don't you come to the bike show with us?
Nah, I just wanted to ride around.
Oh, man.
Say hello.
I can't wait till it's spring, baby. How's the Harley doing, okay?
Good, good.
All right, all right. Check out the porch while you're here.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah?
Nice job.
Yeah, they did a great job. Great job. So the deal is we found out the plane that crashed in the Hudson has floated down to Battery Park and will not be, it actually crashed right where the ferry is. In fact, the ferry we're going to take, they rescued some of the people, so, but we're probably not going to see the plane yet, the Hudson River Miracle plane. What do they call this? The Port Imperial Ferry? Here's the New York City skyline. We're going to be taking the ferry straight across. Actually, right out here is exactly where the plane crash was yesterday, the Miracle on the Hudson plane crash. And this is one of the ferries that helped rescue the people. So, but the plane has floated downtown. It's down, we're probably not even going to see it. It floated with the river tide. Well, we're not going to get we thought maybe we'd get to see it, but not happening.
Okay.
That is a nice coat. You're a real fashion king.
Jeremiah Johnson.
Just Jeremiah Datavio over here. All right, here comes the ferry. We're ready to go face the icebergs in the river. Right there is where the jet landed, right there. You're not going to see it. The windows are so dirty. That's the Intrepid over there, though. Just that dirty. See the SST? The SST is down there, Joe. There's the SST right there. And there's the Intrepid. That used to be on the ship. I guess they had the ship out for fitting. They just brought it back not long ago.
Very big.
Can you go on this one or not? You can go on this one?
Yeah, you can take a tour.
Oh, really? You should go. Yeah.
Man, I hope we don't fall overboard here. Nanook of the North, and that is, now you can see the SST. There it is right there.
This is certainly pretty cool when it goes around the city.
Pretty neat day.
Set up a traditional.
Fuel's back. I don't want to walk past him. Tell him to come down. The potty's right there. It's red.
Yes. Is it Jerry? Must be like some kind of dry
See, when I started riding bikes, I started riding dirt bikes like this with big knobby tires. I didn't have to worry about getting hit by a bus or anything.
I started riding bikes.
It's on the other.
Oh, it's going down there. I see. Okay.
Here we go. Pictures already. Nah, hold off. Just wanted to wrap it up.
I knew that had an advantage. Otherwise, it wouldn't be. I'm sure we'll find something that, here that suits our needs.
Look at the Nazi helmets.
No, see, this is a stunt bike. See the thing on the back? You see that bike where they do stunts? Ah, here's the Ducatis.
I like the color. Italiano.
What kind of bike you got?
I believe it. No shit. I have a 25
Look at that. Check it. I mean, I like that.
That's a nice look. There's a nice picture.
I'm telling you, if you could, do you have any plans on adapting it to a
Yeah, we are.
soft tail?
We are. We do want to work, with the non.
We're gonna have something like that for our.
Dude, I'd buy one. If you had a soft, I'd buy
That's a
that
nice
right
piece of
now.
paintwork there.
What I want to do is to take the bike off. I'm going to lock the casters. Okay, so now these casters are locked. My toe right here, just rock it forward, just like I normally do. Okay. Center stand up now. I just pull it out. Side stand down. Okay. Now put it back on. The casters unlocked. Okay. The casters unlocked.
That's pretty
light it
slick.
up.
That's it. They're probably trying to.
Do it right underneath. Because usually on the center stand, you have to kind of like pick up, go back. This is all I'm doing. I get the focus just on that one leg. Boom.
Right here they have the camera mounts that I was trying to make.
Bright headlights.
And I bet that seat will give you an impression on your ass after about.
Yeah, I bet at the end of the ride, that seat.
Sounds good. I like that wrap that like
Yeah.
Kevlar or whatever it is.
That's asbestos.
I don't think nobody would do asbestos today, but that's kind of cool look to it. Right? Yeah, you're right. You'd have the
Victoria's Secret's girl on it. She's got hot leather pants on.
pro marathoner, and he was the guy who was close, came closest to beating him. Yeah. That's got the Porsche engine in it. Kent Tyson's sister has one of these.
First of all, there'd be no way I could find Jimmy. He's too short. Let's go down this way. Oh, Vinny's got the phone. We got to call him.
This is the bike Mike has right here.
Hurley Donaldson, I think it says.
That looks like the same paint job Mike has too.
Lights on the tip of the handlebar.
When you park, yeah.
Anything to make you more visible.
Yeah, these are the real deal. They got a Vincent over here. You must know what that is.
These are what, classics, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
You've seen the movie World's Fastest Indian?
Yeah, World's Fastest Indian, right.
Great movie.
That's a nice Vincent right there.
That's what started it all.
52 Vincent Comet. Hey, they got your 750 down there, all right. All right, it looks like they got a KZ down there too. The 70 Honda. Oh man.
It's basically the same bike.
Yeah.
That 900 was in its day. I remember.
Oh yeah, that was a rod.
This is before. It's already. It's already in from the 900 to the 1100.
This is a 66, Art.
I like it, the track. Gotta roll with it. You don't got it.
Piece of the functional form follows function.
Yes.
Things from
You drop high. Sorry.
I've seen the videos where they flip it. They don't even get. Yeah, that's the bike he was riding.
Really?
I mean, that's the back handlebars. Concord, which one?
Look at a little scooter up here. Look, it's got a Rojet engine in it. This Dubjet scooter.
That's from
Is that a railroad track
That
thing?
it was. Or it's a coal miner.
Oh,
See,
okay.
I bet there was a, what's it
You
say?
should know about coal mining.
Well, I'm looking at this.
That's pretty cool. What is it? It's an auto ped.
Well, it,
Oh, you do that little
65 miles per gallon. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool.
Don't forget a sticker. There you go, buddy. Thanks again. Morning. Raffling this off for Jorge Posada's foundation.
Yeah, right.
And tickets are $5. And all the money goes to the foundation. All the money goes to Jorge Posada's foundation. We're to raffle this off. There's also a sign picture. So tickets.
Three-dimensional.
There's your next bike.
It's not very aerodynamic.
That'll look good on you, right on the cockpit.
They say Bondo mud, huh?
Yeah. They mix half polyester resin and half Bondo. Same way you make a mold for a prop. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You do with snake charmers and everybody. Yeah. Work with everybody. Good.
That one, that airplane you called the Cardinal Sin.
Cardinal sin, yeah.
You threw paint at it from like 10 feet away.
That's right.
This is a little easier problem.
Yeah, I like this.
There's no key to start it. See the keypad? Oh, okay. Wow.
Way ahead of you, corner.
No joke.
There's shading on that. Was it hand, like with a pinstripe brush? Or
Yeah, Tom, I'm trying to figure it out. Yes.
It's only $45K. You got the, they'll take checks. It's a great cat.
Is this when you ride your Spider-Man bike, you get to wear that helmet? That's pretty cool.
It's got turn signals on in there.
That's pretty cool. Now, I can picture Banjock flying his jet with that helmet. Let's see this. That's actually pretty good. Oh, these got bigger tail lights. Look at this.
This is like what is it? Rocket Man.
That's pretty.
I'd say you did it.
Cereal, you know, Rocket Man.
You're laughing, but that actually
Brake
is a
light?
good idea.
Turn signals.
Yeah. Nah, just
Or
flashing
just
is
like
good.
a strobe to keep,
Yeah.
hey, I'm here, I'm still breathing.
Yeah.
I'm still erect.
I'd like to wear that to bed with the.
Yeah.
Next thing you know,
Yeah.
Karen would be impressed.
You'd be sleeping on the first floor.
Karen would be really impressed. They even got a women's model. They even got the women's helmet with the blinkers.
all right. I didn't want you to miss it.
We designed this about a year and a half ago. I personally own a bag. Mine's over in the corner. It goes on the airport. You take it on airplanes all the time. You put it in overhead luggage. The big thing about the Lagoon is inside. See that Apple laptop right there? Doesn't matter. You put a PC in it. We built a storage case inside of it.
That's right. That's right.
Carnival ride.
The truck's probably got $1 million worth of chrome on it.
Was it prompts me to ask?
paint job's too simple.
Oil's coming in there. This is the gas tank. It's pretty neat. And they always seal the exhaust underneath. Keep the center of gravity down.
Yeah.
No, that one was like literally.
Yeah, this has got the big scoops on the front too.
She's got a girl like that.
It doesn't matter. Adamusco. Where's your bike, Joe?
Well, it's the new one's blue. Mine's red. Of course, mine's not new. But
how old is yours?
2 years.
2 years? All right.
That's it. KLR 650, except mine's red.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. You sent me pictures of it.
Half a Harley, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Then it weighs about 340 pounds.
Oh, it's nice and light then. Four stroke.
It's
got a radiator?
Yeah.
Water cooled?
It's kind of top heavy though. It's not a legit dirt bike, but it's a nice green. It's metallic fly's eye green.
That's actually a metallic of their race color. That'd look good on a plane.
Somebody sees sparks fly up in there. I like that lightning bolt, that orange.
Yeah.
The yellow
Yeah.
stripe on black. That's
Yeah.
cool.
You're an artistic guy. That Batman bike is calling you, I can tell.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Batman, whatever the hell it was.
We don't want to miss any aisles.
I'm not a big fan of the I woke up hungover, so I took some Adderall. Now I'm flying high. So whatever you guys want to do. Adderall sounds like a winner. It pretty much cures everything. Dosage. Just stealing it. Go for it.
I know, this is the V3X. He's over there by a view.
First time I saw it,
Take my picture. Tell Eddie to use it.
Know that idea with the torn away? Imagine having a piece of the plane torn away and inside is tricky.
In a little version.
Oh yeah. Well, I got one on a Spitfire too.
Yeah. I got the book, remember? I picked up the book on it. Yeah. Let me see
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, I could see swoops, but it wouldn't go good on a Spitfire. You have to do. Yeah, that's something out of Star Wars.
Yeah. Look at it. Hey Joe, look at how the seat is made. The seat's made out of a piece of hardwood. Check out the seat.
I just snapped the clutch cable.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, just revealed at the victory display
the Victory Core concept motorcycle. The design team, those guys doing an amazing job getting this motorcycle done and ready for the New York audience. Go and check that out. Right here at the Victory display, exclusively at the Cycle World International Motorcycle Shows.
Yeah, that'd be good for one trip around the block. Or you put lots of, you put a foam bed under your, that's pretty cool. The grain in the wood.
Yeah, I like the wood.
I think I'd be reasonably confident predicting that I'm going to get a strip of mud down my back.
Carbon fiber, rear mud guard, I guess you got to spike.
Well, it ain't much of one.
Is there a headlamp in that little opening? Nothing, it's like an air strip.
No, that feeds the frame. The Victory, the frame on a Victory, the frame on a Victory is the airbox.
See the tiny lamp above it?
Yeah.
I like that.
What's pillars on your porch?
Yeah, the ballasters. The new ballaster look. Well, let's see if they got a VMAX over by Yamaha.
I'm a tall guy that barely touches the ground. Look how you know. Off the Phillips. Has a little gauge in the bottom.
Plus, like every Star motorcycle, a complete line of genuine Star accessories offers bolt-on convenience, Yamaha engineered quality and performance. So you can live now.
Sam, you iPod.
Carbon fiber seal.
Well, that's a $3,200 accessory kit for the VMAX. First you buy the $18,000 bike, then you need the $3,000 accessory kit. That blue on that bike is really nice. That blue, see how he's got the back painted?
I get pricey real fast.
I can't find Ort, I think he's lost.
Nah, he'll find us. Wear a red hat, that always works.
Actually, a hat that looks like orange traffic cone. That'd be the like a Cubs cap.
Garage balloon.
Very.
Now, is this what used to be Yamaha?
Oh, you mean they kind of lost their tradition? Well, could be. Yeah, it's a Yamaha. It's
Yamaha.
Yeah, Yamaha. It's a VMAX. That's the new VMAX.
So Star is Yamaha.
Yes.
Same thing. It's VMAX, but it's custom made.
That's a nice custom paint job.
Is that like a gun sight on a, what is that? What do you think of?
Shift light.
Shiftless. We call it shiftless. Oh, look, they drove it here from California.
Needs a bigger tire.
That's for serious.
That tire's bigger than your ass, Joe. That's a serious tire on there, baby.
Hey, Chuck.
Oh, it is. This is sick bike. I guess I won't back their balls. Feels weird.
Ask him how it is.
I think it's a great thing. It's a nice little bike.
Tell you what, why just
Yeah, definitely.
Bill, you wouldn't? You thought I'd be able to keep up with us?
I tell you this, he's just eating them up.
Bob, you went to view me at my house with the Chinese guy. How you been, man? It's fine here. Jesus Christ. So, what's your take? Well, hey, listen. I don't have one yet. I probably will next year. My buddy Chuck.
Probably from all that bracing. He's hypnotized. He can't hear anything. He's a bonehead.
Now you're cooking with gas, my friend.
There's your Italiano.
Yeah.
You know how to say this name?
Now you're
New York
cooking with
bike.
gas.
Motorcycle. It's pronounced Bugatti. You want it to Bugatti. Right?
You want to know something? My carbon fiber works better than this.
It's your steak exhaust.
This, mine is better than this. I hate to tell these guys. Ducati. Ooh, too expensive. Look how nice that is.
Yours is handcrafted. This is production.
Yeah.
They stamp them out by the millions.
Could be yours for 44,000. Yeah. Could be yours. Scroll down.
Now, if I had a choice of any bike here, this would be it hands down. Right here. 368 pounds, 155 horsepower.
I'm going to be waiting at the front for you.
And comfortable.
Fuel and suspension.
Look at
Is there a trademark, that kind of external frame, everything in
Trellis frame, yeah. That's their trademark.
but that makes it lightweight.
Most, the lightest bike. It's like 100 pounds lighter than anything else.
But how comfortable is that?
Oh, it's nice. I've sat on them already.
I like it. Late spring, early summer. If I buy it, I heard last week too.
Yeah. Me and my techs were talking about just chopping this. I mean, this is the pre-production bike, so hopefully this. What's this gonna sell for? 17? 17 deposits.
Yes, 14.
I bought like $3. $7.98. You know what? I bring my bike
bike. I'm like, you missed my Michael Buffer. They did the modeling and the chicks came out there and I'm like, you know what, it's not gonna last. I wanted to see the bike, but I don't like.
This is the only one that's traction controlled. The cheap one doesn't.
Right.
Okay.
I like it. It's got it. Yeah, it rides like a 1098.
Was it 15 for the cheap one?
Yeah. Now my warranty's up. When your warranty's up, you're in bad shape on a 1098. I had the
I'm not really positive. I have my.
Are you serious?
I'm thinking this is going to have carbon fiber. This is a production model.
Like the second
It's
bike.
supposed to have the lighter wheels. It's supposed to have better suspension, better size.
Now they're like,
One of the local deals.
I've been looking at the world on Shadow Scrape, Pennsylvania. Well, I got you.
What do you got for me? Smile, you're on camera. I'll make you famous.
I hope so.
Look at this. You may sell me a $20,000 bike.
I need the money.
You think you'd be kissing my ass right now?
This theory it's a monster.
Talk to your local dealership, but brand new bikes, I'd be very surprised. Are they bringing in enough of these? Yeah, they'll get short. So supply and demand, we guesstimate what it's going to come in as far as the amount of retailing, but you know, every model that we try out, we can't make enough. I did it.
Good, Adam.
Your line is exceeded. You're on the Tryon.
So you're in like race mode. Yeah, that's a steering gear. Try something like that. Absolutely.
That one yellow.
Watch. Wait till he comes over.
That's not bad. 170 horsepower for 17 grand.
That's the one you wrote out?
Yeah. It's the one that scared the piss out of me.
Sneak by you a second.
But it's not like you're getting carbon fiber on everything. Oh, the rear one doesn't.
What's that? Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I hope she made it. JP replica. That's it. You guys ain't allowed to take my girls out anymore.
She was very good.
She's quite a gal. She's a sweetheart.
She's a lot of fun. She's a sweetheart. Yeah, she's saying pretty big.
It's me. Yeah, you're up.
We've got some people in BMW. We've got a couple Oh, yes. Well, Steve and I are here. David and Dave. What's up, Joe? Happy New Year, Dave. Hey, how are you? Excellent. How are the girls? Just a couple,
If I'd known that, I'd never give you the rag and the ball.
On the 1100, it's the same. It's the same thing.
Still tall as hell. That's why mine's lowered. Yeah. I have it on
Riser actually is basically bolted onto there, but this sits up higher. It doesn't have this extra. But this is actually kind of good because you can clamp on all sorts of stuff to it. So it's step on your speed. Yeah, I know. It's just thinking about plastic. It's a nice bike, though. It's comfortable.
Dressed up with your arm.
Renaissance.
Yeah, you pass right. Yeah,
Tuxedo Bob. 7 Lakes Drive.
Yeah, 7 Lakes Drive. That's no, just buy that take it. Once you're there, you can take 7 or 9 up to Vermont. Take 9 up to Vermont.
I don't know if they changed the tank at all.
100's out.
It's pretty upright.
Yeah, it's upright. Let's put the bikes out. I sat on the Bandit. The Bandit's a lot heavier than this. Like this.
Sorry about that. We're going to pre-position our body. What that means is we want to put our body in the position before the corner even starts. What happens is we go on.
You get into that
How not
position
to fall
before the
over
bike
going around a
turns.
curve on
You and
your
the bike go
motorcycle.
down together.
What are you learning, how to pick up girls in bars or
So the
what?
bike is upright and fully upright. Are we going to go ahead and move our bodies back to that?
Registration and all that, then how much do you really ride?
But it's not the GS. No, it's not the GS. GS 1200.
That's some nice paint, man. My favorite motif, skulls. That's nice. Excuse me. Excuse me?
Bitch. Your way. My bike. They call my bike the Iron Horse.
That's the name of a bike company.
Thank you.
This is what I'm talking about. I take the white one over here next to you. I'm going to pick one up. I might not have a job. This is shot.
Joe, look at the motif in there, the chain. I like the chain motif. That's nice. See in between the red? The link chain. Easy to do, too. That's a snap to do. I didn't even look, to be honest, yeah.
305, so you do save $60 here at the show. Trailer only model right here. Show price $175.
Rub your hand over that paint and tell me what. Oh, okay. It's not paint. See, this shit is all three-dimensional.
It's not a real paint job.
This is not a windy paint job. That carbon fiber, I was disgusted. I saw what shit that was. Now there's the blue for your next Spitfire, Joe. Suzuki blue. Yeah.
Mike, how come you don't got the Mira esta.
I like this. This is the same color as white.
Boston stacks. Take off the top part. Take off the top part. It's John.
Sort of like the like silver.
Nothing else that I have to do. Just go straight through.
Yeah.
I did a road trip in which I was taking stops. I did DC, I did Western Virginia, and I went down.
radar detector up and he just went.
I ran into rain and I came out with trees trying to wait it out. I bought a rain suit on that trip.
Over here on this platform, this is the trailer only model. Yeah, right, there's brochures right on that. It's trailer only. Don't worry with any motorcycles. No boat detached with your trailers. Now that right there, that's the difference between these two models. Pit stop does work free right now. Either in the garage or in the bed of a pickup. Where the trailer only model, 45. Also by order here.
That's some nice looking paint on there.
I like the seat on the other one.
Did you sit on it?
No.
Sit on it. I'll take a picture of you for Mona.
No.
I'll tell Mona you're spending your inheritance on.
When the woman says just once.
Let's go over to the Ducati dealer. Well, we got you in the mood.
Hey.
Yeah, these are new. They're only out a year or two.
With a turret?
It's like you're sleeping, man. I like it. Find out. It's about the same size as Producer. Not how big he is. 3 foot, like 8 pounds. That's it. The bracket should never be swollen, man.
When you get off, you check.
Cost
It's the one that probably looks like with the Ducati.
It looks like the Stealth.
It looks like they copied the Ducati's.
Oh, it's very similar to a Ducati. Yeah, very similar.
That's worthy of wasting the original.
But notice the paint. The paint is not like a Ducati. You know, it's dull. It's a flat finish.
Indian Larry.
Indian Larry's dead right now. He got killed. Yep. Yeah, he's a legend in the bike, custom bike thing.
Swing arm on that. Huh?
It's an extended. Yeah, they extend it. There's Banjock's next paint job. I can see Banjock driving that around.
He needs to just say I'll be home at like 6. Thank you very much.
Look at this, a Brodak exhaust. He has a Brodak exhaust pipe. See that gold? You could use that on a tricky thing. Yeah, that's great.
beach, man. Ain't they something?
Beautiful. I like that
Wait till you
paint.
see our 2 Spitfires out there on the flight.
Right there, here's the fill. So about 4 quarts of oil right up to here. So we put all our electronics under the seat. All electronics under the seat keeps it nice and clean. Everything has a function in this baby is perfectly balanced. They let go of the handlebars riding this down. There's 189 horsepower to the rear wheel. And on this particular one, it's got an auto clutch. It's completely automatic in first gear. Just gas and brakes.
You guys have a television show?
No.
No.
Are you going to give us one?
I'm in the television business, so be nice to me.
Well, you should send us.
You want to be on TV?
I would love to.
Looks beautiful. You guys really do nice work.
I actually just made this thing. I did a treatment. It's called the Ride, and it's actually a pretty cool idea. I'd love to email it to you.
Sure.
I heard something.
Over here, we're walking, just walking by the girl.
I'm looking at her like, man, her feet go to the ground.
As soon as we walk by, bang! I'm like, oh! It was like a mountain bike. It was kind of like a sports ripple. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just admiring. I'm admiring your work. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. It's hilarious.
Beautiful paintwork on these. They do all their own molding in this house. East Side Customs.
Look at this, Alex. Come here.
We built a bike for a young lady that's 4'8". Yep. We'll do anything that we need to do. If you're interested, we can create something.
For me, what would be the lowest price on chopping it up for you?
Well, you're 4'2", so there's a lot of work that we got to do together to make it function. We have to narrow it, lower it.
I'll promote your bike like hell.
Oh, I know you're promoting, but I got to keep my lights on too.
I'm new to this.
Oh, yeah? Oh, you're the mini kid? Oh, shit, very cool, man.
I just joined those guys, yeah.
Oh, yeah, how's that going? What are you playing?
I'm the bass player, so, but the thing is, we rotate characters. Like one day I'll be A, Saturday I'll be G.
Oh, that is so cool.
We got a, you're put to a group for the
Oh, shit, dude, let me get
Files from the extra.
That's funny. That's cool.
I love vehicles. I got a little bow I'm working on.
C-R-U-Z.
Cruz, como é Cruz.
Yeah, C-U-R-U-Z. Yep. And what's your name?
There's some chicky colors right there.
It's on here. Oh, no, sorry.
You modifying
What do you think of that color combo?
You get a $5,000 rebate. Yeah, it's in red or orange. You're like a Chinese.
It's in between. Brookins, it's a Lamborghini color. Brookins sent me some of that. Another nice. I gotta come up with something. I'm going into airbrush withdrawal here.
Well, you still have time.
Combination earphone microphones for the Apple iPhone and most iPhone products.
Well, so you can walk in 2 foot deep snow. Right?
Those are nice boots. I'm jealous. Look at the exhaust pipe on this thing. $9.
That's one with the scratches.
Oh yeah, no, did you see? This was on television. Did you see the gun on the side? He's got a gun. Al Pacino. Look at the side. He's got art. He's got a three-dimensional thing. He's got a gun here. Look.
Yeah, it is.
That's chicky colors, yeah. Chicky colors. See the way he's got the camera mounted up there? But that's a different kind of camera. He's mounted right there.
You know what the cool thing about it? Like, I mean, I got like people, I got schools.
You got a king size bed.
Yeah, who has the biggest truck? Suzuki or ask him. Ask him. You believe that truck? What do you think that truck is worth? Like $500,000?
Probably more, yeah.
We got to go to a tractor show, so you know, on a truck show.
Ooh. I like the tractor pulls when they have them in Iowa.
Yeah, look at. Hey, stay where you are.
This is when I'll be riding home.
Say hello to John Pathia. Hey, John, you want to know anything about Suzukis?
Hey, Art, smile, man.
Is that comfortable?
Yeah. There you go.
All right, that's the little one, though. That's the small one.
Yeah, well.
How much is this one? $7 grand?
Interested in getting down the road.
How much more than that do you need?
Not much. I bet we could talk them down to about 65, given the economy. Or we could just steal it.
The new ones?
20, no, arm.
Yeah, 23 inch front.
That's it.
That's a K9.
It's different. And remember when you dabbled in gold leaf?
Yep. Oh, I can still do gold leaf. That's
You
not
can
problem.
have like gold leaf lightning bolts or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Malcolm Smith is decent. That's a little more low end than Malcolm Smith, but it looks good.
That's the SV?
Right outside.
Poor chick, he'd have a heart attack. I painted it like that.
That was a special. But that's not a Harley though.
That's a road jet.
No, is that one that those West Coast chopper guys made for?
It's a road jet. I'm telling you. I'm kidding you. More like a thing.
That's that special road.
Yeah, yeah.
10 miles.
It's got 1,000,000 turns in it. Yeah. See, this is the kind of camera mount I want. I want this camera mount right here. You can see everything.
No cars are out on that road.
No, they have cars all the time. Motorhomes. Yep, yep.
Roads, Route 66. I mean, you know, you get out to California. I mean, there's a lot of excitement about the Palomar Highway and, you know, up at the Rock Store. And there's some real scenery just Andrews Crest. But they're heavily policed and they're heavily regulated. I mean, you take the Dragon. I mean, I've ridden all of those roads, and I just don't think there's anything that can compare to the Dragon. It's just...
There's a bird in here, Joe. Just saw a bird go by. How would he go? Which one do you want, Art? I'll take the red one. It looks like a Ducati. I saw a thing in a magazine that looked like a little guy must have painted it up like a Ducati.
What's that?
There's all your Chickadooly colors.
Yeah.
The blue even goes with that.
That'd be good to make the canopy that
And
color
you know
blue.
what, like, see what that fishnet or spider web
Yeah.
thing is? Well, about Chickadooly's cage, you know, with the...
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's-
That's an idea.
Spider-Man eyes right there.
That's pretty cool.
Very creative.
Papa, wait.
You think I'm flying the bike? I think you should.
Wow. Look at that swing on, man. Come here. Come here, puppy. Look.
Obviously, that seat doesn't have any cushion.
No. It depends on body fat for a cushion. Well, you and I'd have no trouble.
Just like me and my intake. Bobby, get next to the bike, man. Right there. Come on, come on. Let's take a picture.
See what he's doing, Joe.
Sealer gloss.
Let's see what it is.
Maybe it's for the chrome. Like, you know, you have your header.
He's going to do it right now.
Look on that tarnished soda can.
There you go. Like this, for example. How you doing, guys? Okay. It's metal polish with any metal. Yeah. Any metal like this. Yeah. Make it like that. Yeah. Bring metal. Change aluminum, brass, stainless, gold, chrome, any kind of metal. You got any piece of metal, sir? Benny, quarter, khaki, ring. And also we have a good deal because our price is about 20 on the website.
That's impressive.
Prices get together for 25.
Pretty cool. Now, how long will that last until it deteriorates? Like 24 hours?
No, when you apply the sealer, it lasts for 1 year.
1 year? That'll go out.
24 hours.
Now,
world famous Bob Hunt is here. He's going to show us his newest bike. In fact, he said he's going to ride it around a parking lot for us here at the Javits Center.
I don't want this showing up.
Oh, heaven forbid. Star of a windy video, heaven forbid.
Of course it's bronze, you know?
Bronze, of course. And no cockpit, I noticed. That's sweet.
A nice bike.
And what's not to like? That is nice. What are these?
Right on.
No, what are they? How much?
21.5.
21? That last footage Bob Hunt shot of his underarm or his shoe or something. That's sweet. Yeah, that's nice.
So this is what you want for your next ride?
Yes.
All right, we're going to get back on a ferry. A great day at a Musco's tour.
Overtime, whoever appreciate how warm they're one guy who will walk out. He says it goes by and he laughs.
Oh yeah, yeah, and reverse is engaged.
Look out, it's coming through.
If you're naked in the snow, you really think you're going to be warm if you just think, oh, I'm warm. I am warm. I am warm. What's wrong?
Well, we hope you enjoyed your complimentary trip to the motorcycle show with Joe and Art. The great motorcycle show of 2008. Of 9. It's 9 already.
The ferry terminal. And then a little further down, just where we're going to be turning right, there's another big flagpole a little further down. And that one is the memorial for the Hamilton-Burr duel.
Ooh, that's where the car.
Joe, that barge out there is the one that's got the plane on it.
Yeah, it's down there by.
That barge right there looks like it's got the plane on it.
Well,
I wonder if the chopper is over where they're diving for the engines. There's the carrier and the SST right there as we go by. But they haven't put half of the stuff back out on deck yet, I don't think. That'll be another good day, Joe. Next time you want to go, we'll check out the aircraft carrier. Yeah, you can see the cranes here.
We just passed that flagpole, by the way, where
That's
that
here
monument.
in
Yeah.
Monument.
See down there where the white cranes are?
I got it in the river. Yeah.
Down by the
barge,
financial center.
That's where the airplane.
That's the
Oh, there's all police boats and everything down there.
Up to right down there.
There's all police boats down
Carried all the
there.
way down there.
Whoa. Yeah, those cranes, I
Look
bet
at
they...
that field to fly on, Wendy, right down there. That right on the water. Right
Oh, yeah.
Little athletic field.
Yep, this is a nice older neighborhood here.
It is that.
The spinner, the paint, or both.
Now we're back from the... we bought some stuff at the motorcycle show that's supposed to be great for aluminum and paint. Read what it says first. Do not use on model airplanes. Hey, my stuff's all drying up there. I can't wait to get started sanding it out. I'll show those chopper guys who's the king. They can't outpaint Windy.
Shake thoroughly and apply. Boy, there's your directions for painted surfaces. It's 3 words.
Do not use.
Shake thoroughly, period, apply.
Well, high tech. Is that in Spanish or English?
With soft, clean cloth.
Well, we got microfibers
Generously
here.
allow plenty of time to dry.
Obviously, one of them is the cleaner.
5 minutes.
One of them is the sealer.
Then buff to a mere finish. That's all there is to it.
One of them is, well, pick a spot on your plane. Pick a spot, man. Do the nose. The nose is always a money maker. And then I want you to take that stuff home and tell me that your Spitfire is buffed to the 9s. And if it works good, give me the email and I'll get.
Stainless steel and more.
Yeah, I'll get
Metal
more of
gloss,
it.
Sealer gloss.
I'll get more
See,
of it.
Polishes aluminum, chrome, brass, stainless steel, and more. Polishes.
Yeah, one is a polish, one is a sealer. That's common sense.
Okay, this is a sealer. This
Right,
is
and when I get my Ducati, you can polish.
I'm not doing the paint. I'm going to do the spinner.
Take spinner off, or just do it right on there.
Well, it'd probably be easier to take. I read the directions. I read the directions for the one that I'm not using.
Oh man, you sure that Ducati's going to come to my house or your house? Oh, I was so sure. Yeah, I was so sure the kid was going to bite into that. Yeah, come on down and ride my Ducati for free, no problem. Didn't happen.
Well,
smell? Does it smell like toothpaste?
Doesn't smell like anything. They could, like, you know, magic elixir, like if you drink this, you'll be 25 years younger tomorrow and stuff.
Yeah. Save your money. Let's just see. Maybe it don't.
I don't know. Yeah. I bet they polished those beer cans on a buffing wheel.
I'm more concerned with paint. I can polish aluminum.
Yeah, well,
Toothpaste
to me,
will
this
polish
is
aluminum.
metal brand. This is metallic. This is metals. This isn't for paint, although it says fiberglass. You can, when you get more time, you can experiment.
You know what's always funny is every time I find something that's $30 a jar and it works better than this and that, and you go, and Gorham's works better.
Well, I know one thing. that's the whatever that is.
Yeah,
the
Final Shine.
Yeah, that's. I got to get me some of that. Buffing hard.
Come on, buff hard.
Yes,
that is nice polish. I got to tell you, that is nice.
I'm gonna have the shiniest spinner on the Jersey Turnpike today. I'm telling you.
You know, you're gonna blind people with all this pot. That really came. That is nice.
See, even makes your hands clean too. Oh,
See,
yeah.
you got something out of this bike show. Let's try it on the paint.
Nope.
No paint?
No, you'll try it and I'll read about it. Or you tell me about it. And if
you got to plane the buffs. You Spitfire. Go home and buff the damn thing. I don't need to buff anything today. I got a sand
no,
filler.
but you look. It'll give you so you can experiment. But I do like what it just did.
It did a nice job on the spinner. That's for sure.
Now, I think if I had a paper towel to get rid of some of the goop. You got one handy here?
Yeah, right by your knee. Right by your knee. Paper towels on the edge of the bench.
Oh, okay.
Man, you're going to be a Harley guy before this day's over. Those Harley guys are going to say, hey, polish that Harley up for me.
Yes, all right. And I'm not even trying. Of course.
That is nice stuff.
What you got to do is, run it through the old 1500. Get it up to that.
What you got to do, you chuck that in a lathe, 1,000 RPM, and wear out some microfibers. That is, come on. That's,
okay.
Man, you're Mr. Concourse here. I'm telling you. That's unbelievable. See, you got something out of the bike show you didn't even know you were going to get.
See the difference? Now, there's
oh, yeah. Now look at there's the difference.
There's the nose cone.
Look at the difference between... That looks terrible that you got one. You know, the worst thing you can ever do is help some guy buff out one rib bay.
One part.
You buff one rib bay, and the guy's screwed for life.
See you. No, but whatever that does, it works good.
That's good stuff.
The beer can.
But try it on a Spitfire, and look, I got the eBay. You just save the eBay address, and we'll get more.
So you want me to take this with you?
Yeah. Oh, I want you to use it up. Man, I want you to tell me if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll
look. All you got to do is look at the spinner and then look at the nose cone and the back plate.
Perfect. Yeah.
So
that's it.
this, whatever this goop is, it works.
It works. So those guys were, even though they were Spanish
even though we
guys,
couldn't understand what he was saying, it was.
I don't think they understood us either.
Okay, so you know what I'm going to do is when I get, you know.
No, that's real
I'm in
good.
not a hurry.
I'm going to use a lot. You know what that'd be great for? The crankcases on a Suzuki.
Or how about a Rojet bar slunk? Your engines are polished up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You and I think alike. Great minds think alike.
Now, we know that's going to. I'm going to wash some of this goop off my hands here.
So we got something out of this show anyway. We really did get something out of this day's show. It was a lot of fun. A great bonding day. And as we did, our next trip is going to be to the Intrepid. They make this stuff in Anaheim, California.
Yeah,
that's where John Parthia used to live.
Where they drive all those cars and bounce around.
Yeah, the bunny hoppers and the flip floppers. Master Formula is a trademark of Master Formulations. I'll just have John Parthia drive down to this place and see what they're grinding up to make this stuff. Anyway, we really that was a nice eye-opening product. Maybe I'll put this in a different jar and call it Wendy's model plane polish or something.
I'll tell you what. Look, do you have 2 small containers that I could take an ounce or so, a couple ounces of this, couple ounces of that?
No, just take it. Take it, Joe. If I like it, I'll buy more. I got some ideas from that bike show, and I'm sure Joe did. And I'm looking forward to our friend Art may buy a motorcycle, and this summer join Kajeski and Adam Usko and all the guys around here. Billy Suarez has a motorcycle. Andy Lee, among others. Mike Rogers. And it is fun from time to time just getting together with other motorcyclists that have an interest in... Bob Krug has a motorcycle. I think he has 2, in fact. But beside the point, we have a big day ahead of us, and it's a big day. What I'm doing, I'm cutting up a whole bunch of 320 sandpaper. And this is one of those times when you sand out parts that you really have to take your time and detail every part. This is a critical day. And like I said, I love answering the phone before I've even had my coffee. I wish I was making this kind of money. Now, at least we know 2 things. We know Richard Oliver's out flying. He calls me in the morning and he tells me how great the flying session was. And I tell him I love shoveling snow and chopping ice and But we're down to the point where we need to look at this. Now the objective is, there's a very clear objective. We've got the tissue on. We've got, I think 2 or 3 coats doesn't matter because we're going to put even more on. The idea is, if you listen to this now, you can hear it's got little pieces of the silk span just sticking up, sticking up, sticking up. The idea is to smooth this down, but if possible, not go through down into the raw wood. If we get to do that, that'll be great. If we don't, we got to seal it with some thick or thin CA. And of course, the most important, to break all the edges. Now, I would always start with a small piece, and the tip weight box happens to be a good candidate because if I go through, because I haven't gotten my rhythm up yet, get rid of that little piece of silk span. This I can do by hand now because I'm not looking to change the shape at all. I'm just looking to impart a finish. So I can be very, very careful. Here's where the sticky back paper really comes in handy too. And I'm not looking to change the shape. Now once you know you're not going to change the shape, then from that point on, 320 is my choice anyway. I want to break all the edges. Every time we do a part, I want to break the edges. I also want to just touch the sides so that I don't wind up having a gigantic paint buildup. And that can be a nuisance too. That can then make an interference fit. You know, after looking at those Harleys with the custom paint, I'm almost sorry I don't have a Harley, just so I could paint it up with. I like that one that had chains on it. That was pretty cool. And of course, Joe's got his artistic juices flowing for his next ship. Now, and the reason I wanted to show this is because you don't want to overdo this either and sand the silk span off. That doesn't work in your favor either. But at some point in time, you can just rub it, and now there's no fuzz. That's relatively smooth, and it's ready for the next coat. It doesn't have to be buffed out and polished. It just has to, you want to get rid of all those little threads and those little, I call it, it makes it feel like about it, well, like 320 sandpaper. Now you can hear it. It's a different sound. It's smooth. And always with the little parts first, and once I have the little parts done, I work up to the bigger and bigger parts, the flaps, the fuselage, the tail, and the wing, of course. Now, I always go back to the original thing. I always want to have a tool for doing the little hinge pockets. Stick on a fresh piece of 320 for this. That's where it is always going to be. The difference, I think, between the really super high quality jobs, and I was looking at Joe's hinge pockets when his plane was sitting on my workbench here, and outstanding. It's the kind of workmanship you got to see up close to really appreciate, but he really does a super job. Now, I'm always looking for little mistakes right now, but as good as this may look, once we paint it silver, you'll get the day of reckoning. Now again, I want to get these, anything that's supposed to be perfectly flat. Yeah, there were a couple of things there that really impressed me, a couple of the paint jobs, and I really have to take my hat off to the guys, even though I'm not inclined to like, I'm not a chopper guy, and I'm not going to run around with skulls on my jacket or anything, but I really do like some of their craftsmanship and some of the originality. And sometimes that's hard to do, you know, when you're an artist, you try to come up with some new idea and you just sit there and you can't come up with anything. And of course, in my case, I have no idea how I'm going to paint this. I don't have a paint job in my mind yet. I have several ideas, but nothing firm. Now, I'm just going to go through the whole myriad of parts just like this, and then get probably 2 or 3 more coats of clear on. Each time I put some clear on, I'll make it just a little bit thinner. I should be able to get these parts all sanded out in one day, if it doesn't snow anymore, and of course that can change in a heartbeat. And as long as Karen keeps that Javalia on, I'll keep sanding. Now I know a lot of people would be inclined to just go grab the fuselage and let's start sanding. Well, yeah, I like to save those complex parts for last. I like to always get, it's my own personal way of, that's evolved over the years. Anyway, once that feels smooth, you can even hear it. I have all the edges broken, I can just go on to the next part. Before I actually get too involved in sanding these out, I want to make sure they haven't taken any of a warp. They look perfectly fine. So I can get the same exact thing on the flaps and elevators, and these are, you can just hear it. When we're done sanding them, they'll be like velvety smooth, I hope. We'll find out. So that's why I always like having the hinge pocket tool, basically because I'm jealous of Joe Adamusco's hinge pockets, but and that helps, just helps me maintain some nice little square edges and everything on both the flaps and the elevators. And this was one of my real concerns because we had A-grain wood, that these were going to pretzel up a little bit. They've so far been pretty good. And before I spend the enormous amount of time it takes to do a finish on a part, I want to be sure we're not going to have pretzels, and these look like they're going to be pretty good. But again, when you're not using C-grain wood, it can go either way. And to be honest, the flaps are the one part of this plane that give me a little anxiety that at some point in time they're going to pretzel up, but maybe it's going to be my lucky day anyway. we're gonna find out, that's for sure. But in the meantime, this is just, from this point on, there's just no substitute for just toughing it out. It's a lot of labor. It's at this point in time, even if I don't finish this today, I don't care. I want this step really to be as nice as I possibly can make it, and not a compromise of some kind that I'm not going to have the edges or the angles or all the little definitions that I want out of this. And by using a combination of all these sanding tools, I hope I can keep all the flats flat, and then of course at the very end, once everything's block sanded, go over it all by hand, just a final little bit, just any little low spot that's there, I can just smooth it out. Now as we're going through the parts here, I just happened to notice this. Look at this, perfect diameter. So we'll take advantage of that, of course. And of course you can always roll out more or whatever if you wanted to make that diameter. But having all our little tools that are already made, the flats, just makes this a lot easier. And it's going to be an all day to do this because we've had the phone ringing, and among other things, I think Brian's supposed to come over a little while. Haven't seen him in a while, so we'll probably have a little chit-chat time, cup of coffee time, Javalia time, whatever. And the main thing, and I wanted to emphasize this, is I never want to get to the point where I want to rush this. I want this to be enjoyable. Another thing, this has gotten incredibly stiff. Man, you almost can't bend this. With the double tissue on there and ending at, you don't want to have the tissue end here and exactly up here. You want to stagger those joints. Everything's staggered, if possible. I'm trying to explain to Brian how some of this stuff was, but Brian's not impressed. Yeah, there's the skull right there. Now see, that was Bondo, and it was right on top of the gas tank. Can you see it's three-dimensional? Yeah. And the guy's got a spider on his head. I'm not sure if Kajeski would even have that on his bike. But it was a lot of creative stuff.
Built it up.
Yeah, it was.
It's just another form of sculpture.
So Brian's done with his Hawker Hunter. He's going to bring it over tomorrow. We're going to go bench trim it. When are you going to be done? In the spring?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. I'm already experiencing sanding in the basement. The heat's blowing it up top. My daughter's sneezing. I'm already getting yelled at. So
where are you going to send your daughter to live?
I was already sending her to Pittsburgh.
Or is she sending you somewhere?
I kept telling her to send her to Pittsburgh.
As we say this, look at the dust in this place. Holy Jesus. Oh.
Well, I got forced air heat, so it just sucks it right up.
Yeah, I do too. But I change that filter every week.
Well, I just bought a real $20 filter today. You know, it does all kinds of.
Yeah, HEPA filter. You get a HEPA filter and throw it away every week. Well, we just heard on the news another big snowstorm coming this way, so Brian decided to bail out before the snow got too bad. But it doesn't look like I'm going to get these parts finished sanding today. Yep, I think we're going to be doing more snow blowing than sandpapering today. But that's the kind of winter it's been. Well, we're always the prisoner of the weather here this time of year. But again, here's another neat thing. To get that curve exactly the way I want it, nothing beats having a tool with that shape on it. Now, one thing that's always really difficult to get, this is the old machinist ruler with the sandpaper on it. Always very difficult to get right in that corner when you want to have a sharp edge. The machinist ruler does a great job. What did they say? 2 more hours? We just heard. Karen's monitoring the Weather Channel, and the news is not good. Not for people that have to shovel snow. Anyway, this is really one of the ways we maintain these edges and corners throughout the build. And without this tool, it's almost impossible to get into some of these little tight corners. This, of course, is our favorite tool. And even now, this is probably the last piece I'm going to get done tonight, because the way the day played out with the weather, we got another hour or two of snow blowing. I just can't believe this snow. It's unbelievable. But this tool comes in real handy for several different places, and you can see the edge of the tissue. I'll just basically sand that until the edge disappears. No tissue down in this valley. There's not that many joints on this part, so this should go reasonably well. See the last, I want that to be, what I'm trying to do is establish this to be a perfect edge. And of course we still have to bury some of this in the tissue, so it's not going to be perfect until we get 2 or 3 more coats on this. And the other side has the same tissue edge I need to work on. Well, the last thing we're going to have tomorrow, and try though I might, and I didn't want to rush it. Tomorrow we're going to get the wing sanded out, and then we'll be ready for some more clear. But for right now, the snowblower won this round.